Hi, my name is Ben Boltoft and I'm Product Manager in the Observability and Management Group at Oracle. The session today is Introducing Exadata and Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Packs. New advanced features for Exadata and Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance practitioners. The agenda today is Exadata Management Pack Challenges, Exadata Management Pack Solution, Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Challenges, Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Pack Solution. Okay, let's take a look at the Exadata management and its challenges. When talking with our customers, we have found out that common challenges for Exadata management is cost optimization. An unlimited budget is probably on everyone's wish list, but the reality is something else. There is a limited budget, so cost optimization is the reality for us. Here it is about optimizing consolidation density with maximum performance. And Exadata is a powerful machine and it's possible to consolidate many databases on it. But the challenge is to maintain performance on all databases and to minimize the time the system is unavailable, planned or unplanned. So the challenge is to improve productivity and minimize human errors by automation. Management task needs to be automated. It is also important to understand resource utilization, even if you have one Exadata or if you have 10 or 100 Exadata machines. Do we have available capacity and where? There may be lack of resources on one Exadata or a VM cluster on it, but there are available resources somewhere else. So visibility on both aggregated utilization and component levels are important. Another thing that is important is reliable performance. A consolidated environment requires that databases share resources. So to find both outliers and noisy neighbors that hogs resources and impacting other consumers are very important. The solution is new features bundled into Exadata Management Pack. Exadata Management Pack became available in EMRU 23. These features provide new capabilities to monitor and manage a single or a hybrid fleet of Exadata. We provide tools for analyzing your Exadata fleet with a rich set of dashboards that provides configuration, inventory, and capacity for the complete fleet. We have advisors providing resource monitoring for Exadata clusters, identifying resource-impacted database, and how to optimize resource settings to minimize the impact of noisy neighbors. We have provided fleet-scale automation for Exadata patching and AHF management that will help to improve security and compliance. And all of these features supports hybrid deployments. Our key features in the pack for solving these challenges are Exadata Fleet Dashboards, AHF administration. Since Exadata and recovery appliances share the same architecture, then dashboards and AHF administration are common for both Exadata Management Pack and Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Pack. Other features are Exadata Infrastructure Patching, Database Impact Advisor, IORM Advisor. For customers adopting Exascale, there are new features with interactive IOPS visualization. And for cloud customers, there are a new Exadata Cloud Database Inventory visualization. The benefit of adopting these features are that we're providing tools to ensure configuration consistency across the Exadata fleet, which helps with security and compliance. Automation provides DevOps efficiency with up to 70% by using advisors and automation, and it will reduce human errors as well. And last but not least, it will help with resource utilization for a better consolidation density. The first area here is visualization with dashboards. Let's take a look at our fleet dashboards. First, we have the configuration dashboard, where we provide a complete overview of hardware and software on the estate of Exadatas. Exadata type, hardware, software details, and database deployments. Here it is possible to filter to focus on specific details such as X7 configurations or similar. We can also see information on software and configuration, operating system, ILOPs, storage servers and switches. So if you get a security alert on a certain software version, then we can filter down to the software and identify which Exadata it applies to and identify all databases that have been impacted. So we filter on a certain switch version and get the list of all CDBs and PDBs affected. Next dashboard is our fleet aggregated capacity. Here we can see details on how much CPU, memory, storage, IOP and throughputs that is available and how much that is used. In the example we can see that CPU utilization is around 30%. We know that there are Exadatas and applications with CPU bottlenecks. So the aggregated capacity can help us with capacity planning and if it's more capacity that is needed or if we can reorganize databases for better utilization. Data is structured in line charts and by hovering over a certain time point, it will highlight the time point on all dashboards, which will help us to identify peaks and if they align on different resources or if they are isolated to a certain resource. So now we know how much capacity we have and how much capacity we are using. Now it's more, where do we have the capacity? This can be seen on the fleet capacity dashboards. Here we have one bubble for each Exadata. So now we get a more detailed view and the size tells us about how large the machine is. We can now see that one machine has high CPU and memory utilization and another one has low utilization. In this case, we are grouping Exadata machines on property lifecycle status, but we can also group by other properties as well, such as location, department, and a few others. So it becomes easy to see that we have capacity available in production, but when switching to location, we might find out that the available capacity is in Boston and not in Austin, as an example. We can also hover over the bubble and get more details and see information such as detailed utilization, amount of CPUs available, and name of the Exadata machine. Next level is the fleet component capacity. Now we are breaking down into individual nodes on the Exadata. It is not uncommon to have a 4-node cluster where some databases are active on node 1 and 2 and others are active on node 3 and 4. This can lead to an uneven distribution of workloads, and this can easily be identified by the fleet component capacity dashboard. If you had filters on a dashboard and want to change to another level, then the new dashboard will inherit the filters. Advisors. We have provided 2 new resource advisors, the Database Impact Advisor and the IRM Advisor. The Database Impact Advisor provides an analysis on how databases interact in a cluster. The Impact Advisor integrates with AHF balancing to identify noisy neighbors issues and provides a summary of exposed and impacted databases. So how does this work in a cluster? It is possible to restrict databases from using all resources by setting CPU count. By default, all databases are able to use all CPUs allocated to the cluster, but by configuring CPU count for the databases, it restricts databases from using more CPUs than the CPU count setting. There are 2 ways to do this. CPU caging. If the system has 10 CPUs and we have 2 databases, then the CPU count is set to 5 for each databases. So it is almost same as providing a 5 CPU VM to the database. No databases can use resources dedicated to the other database. Over provisioning. Same 10 CPUs, but instead of 2 databases with CPU count 5, we have 3 databases with CPU count 5. So in reality, each of them are guaranteed 3.3 CPUs. But they can use up to 5 CPU as long as there are available resources. A database becomes exposed when it passes beyond 3.3, which is alerted as a warning in the impact advisor. And it becomes impacted when it tries to pass beyond 3.3 CPUs, but the other 2 databases are also at the limit of 3.3 CPUs. The report will then flag the database as failed. The report correlates the data on instance level and shows resources used and the database guaranteed limit. It is also possible to see utilization from other databases and non-database utilization. All data is correlated with software and hardware related events. It is an advisor, so we provide advices as well. And advices are provided by the AHF balancing report. The report provides information on how to set CPU count on all databases to minimize exposed and impacted hours. So it could be to increase CPU counts on some databases, decrease on others, and no change on some databases. There's also an IO resource management advisor working similar to the impact advisor. Here it is possible to see all databases or PDBs IO utilization and if they are impacted by IO resource management. Green, no impact, yellow, small impact, and red, high impact. The data can also be seen in a tabular format, showing all databases, how much IO they consume, which IO profile they belong to, together with property data. So here we can see that CDB7 has high IO utilization. It belongs to gold profile, but it is a test database. So by moving this database to bronze, it will free IO resources to other production databases. We are also providing customizable charts to compare different IO statistics over time. Next set of features are automation with AHF management and fleet level infrastructure patching. Exacheck is something that is executed frequently on our Exadata machines. It helps to identify vulnerabilities and other issues on the Exadata and the zero data loss recovery appliance. What we have provided are automation to manage and monitoring the AHF configuration. We have provided features to deploy the latest AHF release on all database servers, including upgrades of configuration and AHF autoruns, scheduling and configuration compliance checks, as an example, full checks weekly and partial checks daily. It is also possible to run on-demand checks. So if support requests a check, then it can be executed on all nodes from EM, which increase the server security and reduce the complexity of connecting to all servers and manually executing. It is also possible to run AHF CTL and Exacheck commands from EM. On top of this, we provide monitoring functionality to see upgrade status and upgrade history, AHF service status, Exacheck autorun, auto upgrade configuration, and Exacheck run status and history. These features will reduce the AHF administration with up to 8%. Another automation feature is the Exadata infrastructure fleet patching. It uses same framework as the database and grid infrastructure fleet patching. So now we can provide an end-to-end patching solution from Exadata infrastructure components to database components. This will simplify and increase security and compliance of Exadata environments. Even one single Exadata is a fleet of components, and this needs to be taken into account when patching. Another important thing is that it is a fully automated process, which will minimize human errors and can be scheduled during patching windows that minimize downtime and fit into desired maintenance windows. The infrastructure patching is based on in-place patching using gold images. It is possible to deploy and update at scale by running upgrades on several Exadatas in parallel. If there are errors, then it's possible to roll back to last known good state, fix the problem, and proceed. There are validation possibilities for both update and rollback. There are also pre-checks to minimize potential errors so they can be found and fixed before starting the upgrade process. It is possible to customize the upgrade both with optional parameters and pre- and post-upgrade steps. And it can be integrated with automation tools as well. Additional minor features for advanced monitoring are also available in the pack. Enterprise Manager includes a rich set of features for monitoring exascale that is out of the box in the Exadata plugin. But on top of that, we have provided additional features. There is a new interactive exascale visualization, where it is possible to identify IOPS allocation across vaults, storage pools, and databases. When configuring exascale, pool, vaults, and databases will get a certain amount of IOPS allocated. With this visualization, it is possible to identify high utilization on a pool or a vault. Just set the limit like 75% of provisioned IOPS, and it will highlight the affected pool, vaults, and its databases. This will help with triaging performance resource allocation issues on Exascale. So with all these features, the benefit of adopting Exadata Management Pack is a simplified management with automated and streamlined management tasks, reducing time and human errors. Cost-efficient resource management that enables the ability to optimize I/O and CPU resource allocation for improved return of investment. Improved performance delivers insights that helps to optimize the configuration to minimize competition of resources. Better security. Automated infrastructure patching helps ensure all components are patched and up to date. Enhanced resilience. Automated health check helps to identify potential issues before they become an incident. We have also provided new functionality for zero data loss recovery appliance management. One challenge for database and recovery appliance administrators is the recovery appliance serves a large number of databases. It is not uncommon to have hundreds or even thousands databases that needs to have a backup. Databases that needs backup are both on commodity platform, Exadata, Exadata Cloud, either Oracle Cloud or external clouds. So improved productivity by automate and streamline the backup process is essential. It is not only a large estate of databases that benefits from automation. There are other challenges for DBAs with few databases. If you only add new databases a couple of times now and then, it becomes easy to forget. So that increases the risk of human errors or even that some databases don't have backups because it is too complicated. Another challenge is to maximize resource utilization on recovery appliance as well, to understand how much more load it can handle and where do we have more capacity and similar questions. A third challenge is around backup configuration and how to streamline it. Some databases requires advanced configuration for primary and standby, which requires a deep knowledge in configuration. So how to reduce it and reduce the dependency on one or few administrators with the deep knowledge. This is where the Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Pack will help. Key features in the pack are automatic onboarding by configuring databases for backup to the recovery appliance, automated backup scheduling for databases, and this can be done as soon as the database is discovered in Enterprise Manager. There are features for fleet scale backups per MAA best practices. And we have provided new features for advanced backup, including multiple recovery appliance and data guard. So all in all, it can reduce backup management with up to 8%, reduce human errors, and improve SLAs. Our focus have been on automation. The left column here are the steps that are left as manual steps. Onboarding databases to the recovery appliance and discovering the database in Enterprise Manager. All steps like host configuration, individual configuration per database, DataGuard configuration, and refreshing EM to be able to schedule backups are now automated. We have also automated backup configuration and scheduling and executing backups, including validating the backup. Starting with configuration, Enterprise Manager has a full UI where you can pick databases, define configuration, and execute the configuration. It's also possible to automate it further. As soon as the database joins a certain group, it auto-configures backup setting and the database is ready for backup. What's done within the UI can also be done using API or EMCTL commands. When backup settings are configured, it is time to schedule backups. Same here, full UI workflow where you can pick databases and selecting a backup schedule. Even this can be automated when the database joins a group. As soon as the scheduling is done, it will validate that the backup is okay. Another important thing is that it is possible to change settings or schedules for a group in parallel. Just change the group setting and it will be propagated to all targets in parallel. Configuring backups in an advanced configuration using standby databases and multiple recovery appliances has previously been a manual task and requires deep knowledge. This can now be done using EMCLI. We support MMA Gold configuration where primary and standby databases are backed up to different recovery appliances. Gold with backup and recovery continuity, where backup to both primary and standby databases have a preferred and an alternate recovery appliance. So if the preferred is unavailable, then it will send the backup to the alternate. The setup is also supporting backup anywhere replication. So instead of performing backup from both primary and standby, it will only backup from one database and replicate to the other recovery appliance. Another important feature is archival backup. This feature provides the ability to create a point-in-time backup for offline storage, either to tape or object store. The new thing here is that it creates the backup from the recovery appliance and not from the database. We have workflows to configure and schedule these backups. They can be scheduled as reoccurring backups, and it is possible to generate archival backups based on profiles. So new databases joining a profile will have archival backups created based on the profile, like gold once a week, silver once a month, and bronze yearly. We are also taking recovery time objectives into account and provides the ability to perform compression and encryption on the backup. So all in all, the benefits of adopting the Zero Data Loss Recovery Appliance Management Pack is simplified management. Automatic onboarding and scheduling of backups will allow junior DBAs to configure and schedule backups, which will allow senior DBAs to focus on more important tasks. Cost-efficient management. The fully automated process will reduce the number of steps with 8%, increasing administrators' productivity. Enhanced resilience. By using automated Oracle best practices for backup management, including advanced backup settings using DataGuard, it will reduce human errors and improve SLAs. Thank you for joining this session. For more information, seek out the links listed here.